The end game. What is the end game? The end game is what we see now. It's in our political system, it's in our schools, it's in our sporting events, it's in our workplaces, it's in every crack, crevice, nook, and cranny of society in America. The end game. You see, before they monetized taking fathers out of the home, there was no gender confusion. There was no question about how many genders there are. There was only two. And you knew that you were a girl, you knew that you were a boy. Man and woman. Male and female. We still see the ancient remnants of male and female with all this technology. How would you be able to charge your phone if one day your phone said, I'm no longer going to receive a plug, but I'm going to try to now charge myself by hooking up to another phone? What if your refrigerator, after you just bought groceries for the week, decided that it no longer wanted to be plugged in, but it wanted to plug into another plug? Yet we have to sit here and believe all this garbage about equality, equal rights, civil rights, all circulating around foolishness, dumb assness, and fuckery. And I always tell people this. If I ever wanted to one day just say, you know what? Not that I want to be gay, but I like sticking hot dogs up my ass. I don't like being with men. I don't really like being with women, but I really get a kick out of sticking hot dogs up my ass. And my hot dog should be able to access health care. If I die, my hot dog should be able to access my benefits. And if you don't respect the fact that I like inserting hot dogs in my ass, then you're a hot dogophobe. See, here's my position on all this. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. It doesn't concern me. It ain't none of my business. When you start bringing shit before me, when you start putting shit on Front Street, and I have to walk down Front Street, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to know about it. What you do is what you do. As I always like to say, keep your shit in the closet. I don't care. Do what you do. Do what makes you happy. But don't make me acquiesce to your mental instability. Because yes, this whole gender confusion, this whole homosexuality thing once was qualified as a mental illness. But the end game was we infiltrate the music, the entertainment, the education, and now the sporting events. Remember a few years ago when it was the biggest deal that this gay, I forget his name, But the dude played for the St. Louis Rams at the time, and then ended up, I think, either with a tryout or they signed him, the Dallas Cowboys. Remember the gay dude? He was from the University of Missouri. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name. I know everything else around that except for his name. And he was just kissing his boyfriend, and they were smearing cake all over their face. Just fucking fruity ass shit, right? Then when there was the basketball player, Jared Collins, or whatever his name was, he came out, got a call from the fucking president at the time. Your first homosexual president, Barack Obama. See, he didn't have a problem when black men emasculate themselves. He gave him a call. Bravo. That's not a problem. But see, the end game is even deeper than that. The end game is the speculation. Proof be damned. See, who the fuck needs truth when you could just say anything and it is truth? See, I don't care that Brett Kavanaugh has been voted or whatever, however that procedure goes, to go to the Supreme Court. I don't care. It doesn't. At the end of the day, evil people are going to do what evil people do. So I'm not going to worry about what they're doing. I got to worry about what I am doing, and then trying to prepare for their evilness, because it's never right now. It's always down the line. See, I was glad that he prevailed. That even though I don't support nothing about this system, I am glad that it didn't derail his nomination. Because people, especially females, scream rape way too often. Sexual assault. It all gets murkied and watered down. See, if I don't like your political standing, I can say, oh, he's a rapist. She's a rapist. Well, really, it's a he. It don't work on she. They don't care that women rape, like the teacher that raped those students and got 10 years probation and still can teach. Especially if you're an attractive woman and you're raping, shucks, wish it was me. That's how the system works. Cosby sitting in prison now because of an affidavit from 12 years ago or more, and because a comedian who was nothing more than a tool brought some of this shit up, and a bunch of women got together and said, let's railroad this man. Now look, I don't know if Cosby did the raped or not. I don't know. Nobody really knows. But the fact that you can send a man to prison off of accusations should be alarming to everyone, not just men. See, in this society, the end game is you give the women all the power, because they know women are irresponsible with power. See, men, correct me if I'm wrong. If we have power, we understand what it took to get that power. So we're not frivolously going to go around flexing our power, because if we use too much of it, we could end up losing it. See, women, they get to keep hitting the reset button. It reminds me of the old school Nintendo system. If you had a Nintendo system like I had, it would always fuck me over. Meaning, I'd get to the highest levels of ninja gating that I ever got, and all of a sudden, bloop, it would start blinking over and over again. Over and over again. Over and over again. See, women get to have that reset button. They can fuck their life. It doesn't reset their life, but it resets who's responsible for it. So they can fuck around and have 20 children, cannot take care of them. Hit the reset button. Government is there in a heartbeat. Government becomes the baby daddy. They put the baby daddy underneath the system because that is the payment of this woman making the system her baby daddy instead of her or all her baby daddies. The end game. The end game is to make truth null and void. So what? We went over there and we killed for oil. It was about freedom. That's what it was about. Oh, let's ignore the fact that there's never been an airplane where a black box has never been found, but miraculously, the 4 hijacked planes that crashed on 9/11, only one of them was recovered. And we're just going to put this under lock and key and no one can ever hear it. One of the worst so-called terrorist attacks in American history since Pearl Harbor. And the American people who are asked to then sacrifice themselves for this war on terror for the last 17 years don't even get to hear everything that went down before the plane crashed. Somehow that is national security. Oh, fuck the fact that all the people that decided to leave the Bush administration just somehow ended up in the Pentagon and in the World Trade Center. That one of Bush's cousins was running security. I don't know if his cousins or one of his brothers, but they were running security for Dulles, whatever, I forget the freaking name of the airport in Boston, and at the World Trade Center. Oh, fuck the fact that on September 10th, they lost $2.3 trillion, and the Pentagon, that is, and they don't know where the fuck it is, and they're investigating it. Oh, and the plane just happened to hit that same area where they were investigating it. Oh, let's ignore the fact that there was trade exchange pro software that had loopholes in it, that, oh, the servers just happened to be on the floors that got hit on 9/11. Oh, these terrorists must have known, or just been really good guessers. Oh, all the files that were present that was going to convict all these companies for insider trading just happened to go down in the one building that wasn't hit by any planes, but crumbled under simple office fires. Truth be fucking damned. Because our politicians say so. Our leaders say so. Our pastor says so. Our teacher says so. Our manager says so. Our CEO says so. The end game, to destroy logic, common sense, critical thinking. Things that should make you question everything. Why are we still in Afghanistan when Afghanistan has the largest opium fields in the world? And just ironically, there's an opium problem in America. Opioid epidemic in America. See, my grandmother warned me about this. She told me, baby, sometimes you gotta keep something for yourself. I didn't understand it then because I was raised to tell the truth, to be honest, to have integrity, to stand for something. I'm not famous and I'm no one important, but fuck, man, I have some fucking honor for myself. There's no way in hell I would want my children, my sons, to see a disgraced man as their father. Who didn't question anything, who just took what was given to him. We are beyond the book 1984. We are so far down the toilet, we're no longer swirling. It's just a matter of time before we get to the sewer plant. And whatever happens to us after that point, it won't matter. See, when shit is in the toilet, it's individual. But when you bring it all together and you force it to amalgamate, there is no individual shit. There's just shit. I'm a deep thinker. It's because I was raised to think deeply. Doesn't make me better than no one. I'm damn sure not smarter than anyone else. I just question. I just ask. And I say, why? Why is it that everybody is responsible for over $120,000 towards a national debt that has no actual gold or silver to back up its money? How the fuck is it that our birth certificates and social security numbers are traded publicly? How is it that they convince us to take toxins and tell us you can't do anything in this society unless you have this toxic shot, this vaccination, which suppresses your body's natural ability to have immunity? And we still have people willing to support this, willing to support this system. The end game is the end of you. That is the end game. Don't be surprised when you no longer have the ability to even control your own thoughts. Because the social manipulation, the social ostracization, the cold shoulder of questioning. Why? There's people who profess to be my friends who never speak to me, never hang out with me, but a few, a chosen few, and I'm fine by that. But many choose to ignore me and leave me alone because I'm too controversial. I ask questions. We shouldn't ask questions. We should go about our day, go about our lives, and accept that which is given to us by people who don't want to see us exist. The end game is to destroy your brain, to destroy your neurological functions, so that you're nothing more than a fucking vegetable in a plastic bag being taken to a FEMA camp, be sliced and diced, have your organs given to global elites to prolong their evil reign. It's not far-fetched. People don't research. You know, I had a video taken down recently on Friday that I put up in June. It was a video about a little black boy who said that several white men jumped him, beat him up, took his shoes, took his phone, well, allegedly. And I gave my take on the news story. And all I simply said was, white people had nothing to do with it. He got jumped by a bunch of niggas, and he knew mama would have beat that ass if he would have came home without his expensive Jordans, even though they live in fucking this matriarchal, wonderful paradise. They live in a shithole, but he had J's on, and he had a cell phone. Both of those were gone. You tell me, it's the last time a white person stole Jordans and a cell phone. They may steal a lot of shit. They ain't gonna steal no fucking cell phone and sneakers. They go after real assets, land, property. That video was taken down. The end game for you to not figure out the end game.